Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm going to answer a question from someone who emailed in, and I've gotten really backed up with questions. So yeah, I'm going to do my best to start answering them in videos, or maybe I'll write some stuff. I don't know. My heart hurts so bad. I'm in so much pain. I just want to run out of this pain. I want to escape from this pain. I don't know how to go through this. I'm just going to have to let God take me through this. That's the only way I go through what I'm going through right now. Is that God's just going to have to take me through the whole thing. I have a big karmic debt. It's not what it was, but it still feels insurmountable. The karmic debt is what purifies you or something. This life ain't about money and my desires. This life is just about becoming pure, in a sense, like living a life of service, not for what I can get out of it, but just for God. This is one of the last lives I'm gonna live. I hope it feels that way. It's like I'm getting very pure in my intentions. Getting very humble, you know? Just getting humbled by life. Not even wanting to be anybody anymore. Not in like a depressing sense, but just in the sense of like, I don't want to, you know, like that whole thing of like, I want to be that. It's like, I just want to be an instrument for the divine. And any desires that are in my heart that are true, I want to give them to God. And I just want to go where God tells me to go and do what God tells me to do. Just really leaving my life to God. And noticing how God is breaking me down. Putting me in a place where I feel utterly powerless, like over and over and over and over again. It's like breaking down more of that egoic self. More of the one who wants to be in control, and more of the one who wants to be the achiever, who needs love from everyone. It's like even getting in this place where I don't even need respect from anyone. It's just like, or anything. It's like, I know me. I know my relationship with God. It's really that. It's like God just breaks you down so much that you have to let God pull you through. You have to let God pull you through because you can't go through it. That's the whole point. Because if you could go through it, then how would you ever surrender to God? It's like we create paths karmically that we know we can't go through by ourselves, that we know we'll have to, we create a path in which we know we'll have to surrender ourselves to God to get through it. It's like we create our own path back to God, back to purity, back to wholeness. It's like, of course, none of us can get through this by ourselves. Of course, we have to surrender every day deeper to God to get through what life is asking us to go through. It's like, of course, we're having to continually shed these layers, these false selves. It's like God is just breaking us down, making us very humble servants of truth, to the truth. And that's all the aspiration is. If there's an aspiration anymore for me, it's just like, I want to be this humble servant for truth. Not for any end, just like the means is the end or something. It's like to be a servant, just to be a servant. It's like, that's home. Almost like I can feel God like squeezing the life out of the egoic self. Like suffocating the part of me that wants things, or that feels it should be this way, the part of me that's in judgment or resistance to what is, the part of me that really wants to control life and that wants to become. It's like life is just squeezing the life out of those layers. It's like those layers are just like not able to exist in the same way anymore. And it's very abrupt and intense. Well, I was going to answer a question today, but this just became a testimonial, and I guess this is just what it needs to be. This is the most humble thing I can offer, you know? This is the most God I can offer. This is like the most I can offer of me getting out of the way and just letting something come through that's of service, because I'm sure, you know, I don't even remember what I even really said, and that's always a sign that I just let something of service come through. That's not here to serve my ego. And, oh no, what are people going to think of me? It's like, more and more, I just want to let the truth flow through and be what it is. And that's the greatest act of service I can give, I feel. And I will try to answer questions too when that seems like the time to do that. Just give me God. Just give me God. Just give me God. This would be kind of scary to post. I think I have to. Yeah. I never know how this freaking thing's gonna go. These videos. Right when I think I have an idea. This is such the unknown. Like, if you're in the unknown, I'm right there with you. Yeah. That's a sign that the divine is living us. When we're like, I have no idea what the hell is happening or what's gonna happen. That's a sign that there's this greater force living us. And thank God for that. Because more and more this greater force is going to need to come online for us to continue to be here on earth. for us to, like I keep saying, to go through we're going to be asked to go through. It's like this greater force is more and more gonna need to have the wheel, and our egoic sense of control and trying to, maneuver in life and manipulate life. This part is really going to be asked to step aside, and it can feel intense if that part's really, gripping hard and throwing a tantrum about having to step aside, right? It's like it can start to feel really overwhelming. But no, it's like it's a blessing that this is happening. This part's falling away so that this greater divine force can live you. It's like that's what you really want. It's like you want your soul to be liberated in this body. And so your soul's taking you through whatever you need to go through so that this false self who has the wheel right now, and sometimes it's like it's just hallucinating it has the wheel, but so it's really like so this false self can just dissolve away so that you can live as an embodiment of Christ, as an embodiment of a divine ascended master, as an embodiment of the light, of truth in this body. That's what this whole thing's about. It's like bringing it all down into earth. And so it can feel suffocating and like you can't even breathe sometimes because life is suffocating the parts of you that just aren't true. It's like those parts, there's no more space for them anymore. It's like the vibrations are getting too high. It's like there's too much light waking up in your body. It's like these parts, you've outgrown them. You've ascended beyond them. There's no use for them anymore. But they're still like, oh, but I need to be here, don't I, for us to be safe? And it's like, no, actually, we can let go. And we're not even the ones letting them go. It's like the divine is just ushering in a new way of being for us. That's in this moment. That's not experienced through the mind primarily. That it's experienced primarily through the beingness of your essence. So the divine is just doing it for us. It's like taking one way of being offline. It's like that's falling away. And then you can feel all these places and you get contracted and scared and terrified. Because now it's like, what do you mean I can't experience life primarily through the mind and feeling like I'm in control of things and all of this? It's like, what do you mean I have to just be present? Being present, that's scary. What what's going to happen if I'm present in every moment? It's like presence is scary. It's like we say we want the truth, and then the truth comes knocking for us. And it's terrifying. It's like we will cling to the familiar no matter how uncomfortable and how much stress and pain it creates. We want to cling to the familiar of experiencing life through the mind, of experiencing life through past and future, because it's so what we've always been or identified as. We've always identified as something that exists in the past and something that will exist in the future. And life is coming in and saying, no, what you are is right now. You're none of that stuff. It was all make-believe. That was all fantasy to take us from right now, to take us from what we really are, because what we really are is it scares the shit out of the false self. Excuse my language. So life is like I said, it's like squeezing out your ability to live from the false self, to live through the mind. It's like the mind is here as a beautiful tool for your soul. But too often the mind becomes the dominant thing. So the path is just experiencing the fear you might have of being just this moment and nothing more. Nothing added to it. It's like the path is experiencing that fear directly. That's a lot of times why we escape the present moment, is because there's just too much to feel. There's too much fear there. There's too much terror, too much grief. But we're all being taken to this place of no self, in a sense. This way life can move through us in a harmonious way for Earth, for others, for the One. No more manipulation, distortion, lying. Selfishness. Just one heart. A movement for the good of all. Every action is for the good of all. No false self to try to protect anymore. Or it trying to protect itself by doing all the things it does that are rooted in fear. The earth is saying no more. We're waking up from that delusion. We're coming into this, like I say, this greater harmony, this greater oneness, this greater sense that He is me, I am her. That we're all this one interconnected, karmic movement of love. What you do, how it just affects everyone else, every inner movement, every outer movement. It's one organism. All right, that's what came through today. Okay, fun times. Thanks for being here. Sending you all so much love. Yeah, if this work supports you, there are links in the description box for how to support me on my journey. But other than that, I'm just sending you all so much love, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.